I'm somebody who's never really, to be honest, never really been ill in my life, and I've hardly ever been to the doctors, or minor thing. And I've always looked at many of my colleagues who've had, we tend, especially string players, but all players in general, get quite a lot of aches and pains and strains, and I've always not had any of that. So when I got very bad back, like 2.5, 3 years ago, I thought, that's strange. And I saw this fantastic haematologist, oncologist, Helen, who's been with me all the way through. And she said, I'm absolutely sure you've got myeloma. Somehow I never doubted that I would get back to playing. And I really, really wanted to get back to playing in the orchestra, though it was pretty bloody obvious, sorry, I can't use that sort of language, that was perhaps a remote possibility. Anyway, I got, much to everyone's surprise, I got better fairly quickly, if you like. I mean, it was still a long process, but I got moving and I got home. It just carried on sort of bit by bit, putting everything back together. And when I was strong enough, I got the cello out. And it was amazing just to find, actually, I can still do this. It was an immense relief. And eventually, I got back to going on to a part-time contract, which is what I've got now. So I do about 1/3 of the orchestra's contract work, which I think is a perfect arrangement. Pain from day to day is always there at some level or other for me, and it would be stupid to say I just try and ignore it, because you can't ignore it. You have to find your own way of managing that pain and dealing with it in a way that works for you. I'm sure, certainly initially, without proper pain relief management, medication, I wouldn't have been able to make that start on getting back to a normal, more normal life. So all those other aspects of the things that you do, keeping your brain occupied, keeping active, doing a bit of physio, without the basic getting your medication right, initially, I don't think I would have managed it. The other thing I do is I do regular physio, and I think that actually does help. What I do is I have one-to-one sessions with a physio in the gym, obviously under his careful, watchful eye so that I don't do anything stupid and damage myself. And I'd have a session of hydro in a swimming pool, which is excellent because your body is supported and you can do things that you couldn't do out of water. So that's the sort of practical side of it. That's what I try and do. That's my take on pain control in general. I would say definitely my highest point was getting back on stage and playing my first concert again, because although I was determined to get there, I was, really, I didn't know whether I would, and it was just fantastic. And I think there is a really important psychological aspect to it as well. I mean, if you're feeling down and miserable and sitting in a corner, you notice your pain a lot more. There's no doubt I do. A few occasions that's happened to me, I do. If I'm playing, if I'm working, and you're listening to the music, you're involved, that's probably the best next, after the medical side, but the next thing to help your pain management is to be doing things. Keep your brain occupied, be involved for me, with the music. And that makes an enormous difference. And I'm sure probably helps lots of people, but I'm sure those that don't maybe should consider, come to the odd concert.